Yeah. Coke fed, press some head, let's get in the car, I said. She grabbed my hand, girls rescue, met the bar, witness said. Tears fled the head, I'm weak, now guess she tweet, I guess she confess. She thinking less, not drinking less. Bathroom says, best to get spontaneous. I stereotype, put to rest tonight. Imagine, believe, and achieve, it works. Skyline as a rise like fireworks. Smell through the bag, don't touch my perk.
Yo, hey everybody, and welcome to this edition of After the Storm, your OKC Thunder post-game analysis live stream. And let's say tonight, your After Thunder beatdown live stream, because that's what happened. We got we got beat down tonight. The Nuggets, tip your hat to them. They came out on fire. They came out with a certain purpose, a certain attitude, and right from the very beginning, they put it on us right from the outset, and there was not a lot the Thunder could do. I mean, both games, Denver has come out against us ready to play. There's no question. They came out ready to fight, and the thing that's going to have to, and we talked about this after the Minnesota T-Wolves game. When we lost that lead, we said that one of the things you're going to have to do is you're going to have to come up with a solution, because teams are going to do what? They're going to double team SGA, and they're going to do a box on him. And that's exactly what they did in the third quarter. You know, we were making a run. They went into the zone. They went into the half-court trap, getting rid of SGA, getting rid of the ball, and then the Thunder had no answer. So that's part of what I said after that game. You know, you've got plenty of games, plenty of time to come up with a strategy. And I forget who it was. Maybe it was Nathan. Talked about, well, the good thing about it was that teams are showing us what they're going to do well in advance. Well, hell, it doesn't matter if they show you what to do if you can't stop it. If you don't have an answer for it. So tonight, that's exactly what they did. But beyond that, our defense lately, we're scoring a bunch of points, but we're giving up the stuff that we normally were doing defensively. We're no longer number one and holding teams to the least amount of points. We're number two. Denver hit us with 34, 33, 34, and 39 points in four quarters. You heard me. 34, 33, 34, and 39. They were 12 of their last 17 threes. They missed one three-pointer in the fourth quarter. So when you look at this Thunder, part of what has got to fix is we've got to go back, and Wiggins has been scoring, is great. But what he's given up on defense, Westbrook went by him like he was just standing there. So, you know, and I talked about this today on the Unpopular Hour, what you're giving up and getting offensively, is it worth what you're doing defensively? Because offense doesn't travel, defense does. And I was talking to the commander. He was texting me while he and his wife, Kimberly, were at the game. And, you know, he's talking about Wiggins. I was like, well, Wiggins doesn't do anything against teams who can play. He's very good against average teams or team below average. He's very good. But against really good teams, he really hasn't done a whole lot, because of the simple fact he does not have the skill set that works against a Portland, or that works against the Grizzlies, or that works against teams like that. But against a Denver, against we're going to find out Wednesday against the Celtics, against the Cavaliers, teams that have a very good defensive front who matches what we do, you're going to have a little bit different time. That's why I was saying I want him just to do catch the ball, shoot threes. Quit trying to take people off the dribble and do all the stuff that you were doing against weak teams. It's a little bit different against a better team, because they're bigger, stronger, more athletic, and they're better than you are. Or they're the same, equal as far as talented as you are. So, you know, I just wanted to go back to making threes. And then Isaiah Joe. I like Isaiah Joe, but not as much as I used to. And I've said that many times on this show, that I don't like him as much as I used to. Why? Because teams are figuring him out. And if Isaiah Joe is not making threes, I don't want him on the floor, because he's a liability offensively. And then let me give another shout out to Denver, besides the fact they spanked us the way they did as far as scoring all the points. Brown did a fantastic job on SGA tonight. I think one time, what did he do? Steal it or block SGA shot, or steal it from him or something, and then turn around and scored on the other end. Now, I like when that happens to SGA, because the next time they play each other, if they do, I can promise you he's going to beat Brown's breaks off of him. He's going to embarrass the guy. He'll drop 45, 50 on him. But That's part of it. And then another thing tonight, uh, we talked about SGA. You know how many shots he took tonight? He took 35 last night. You know how many shots he took tonight, guys? He took 14 shots. 14 shots. Now, granted, 35 was a lot. Granted, I agree with that. But what this coaching staff and what this organization has to understand, he is the guy. Not J-Dub, not Chet, not Dort, not Caruso, not Kaysen, not Wiggins, not J. Will, not iHeart. He is the dude. And so what if he goes for 35 this? I understand it's not the team concept, Sam Presti. I understand it's not what you guys want, but that's what we are. We are Shea and everybody else. And no matter what kind of developmental coach you are, Dagnaut, you are not going to get him to be what you want him to be. He is who he is. When you step in this league, you're pretty much who you're going to be. Now, are some people going to get better? Yes. But you're pretty much who you're going to be. You're where you are going to be at. And when you saw SGA as a rookie, you already knew what he was going. J-Dub, we know where he's at. Wiggins, we know where he's at. Chet, first game back-to-back. First time he's played back-to-back. Clearly his legs were gone. You could tell that by his three-point shooting. Everything was short, and then he compensated. Everything was long. So a lot of that had to do with it. But do not discount what Denver did to us. 34, 33, 34, 39. That's what they did to us. Now, granted, J-Dub got hurt. He went out. No question. That had an effect on us. There's no question about that, because you can't lose your second 2A, 2B, 3A, whatever player, whatever you want to designate him as, out of a game and still got to compete. That's going to be hard. And then off to that, Jamal Murray looked like Jamal Murray in playoffs. Why? Because Denver was focused. Denver came out way more aggressive. Denver came out, hit us in the mouth, and they were doing what we do. Play physical, beat us up. That's the way we play. We play physical, we beat you up. They beat us up. And there was no response. So now the series is 2-2. They beat us once here. We beat them once there. We split 2-2. Each taking care of a home game. Now, the Thunder made their point last night. Denver made their point tonight. And when you look at the big fella, Jokic, clearly he got outplayed last night. Tonight, let me see what was Jokic tonight. Jokic tonight, 35 points in 39 minutes, 15 for 20, 1 for 2 for 3. Let me see, what was his rebounds? 8 assists, 18 rebounds. That's the big fella tonight. He did work because of last night. And then what did they do? They took the ball out of SJ's hands. As I said in the opening tonight, third quarter was the deal. Okay, I'm going to go back. Third quarter, we're up 73-67. SGA, Kaysen, J. Will, Dort, Chet. I like J. Will, but I'm not sure I like him starting. But once again, what do you have to do? You could, whatever reason he didn't start iHeart, he brought iHeart in later. It's 84-82. We're just shooting three after three to begin the third quarter. I'm like, I've got in my notes, why are we shooting all these threes? Three after, I think one possession, we got 3 rebounds and shot 4 threes. Shot a 3, got a rebound. 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 They went down court and scored. When we get into the 3 shooting mode, that's something that, what did they do? They took the ball out of SJ's hands, and once again, what does he do to start a quarter? He is passive. He lets everybody else try to get into a flow until the 5-minute mark, and he does his thing. And what my plea is to him, in certain games, I understand you're trying to let everybody get in the flow. But to me, bro, come out, do your thing early. Establish the thing early. Let everybody else relax and let them make plays. Not try to be playmakers, because that's what everybody's doing to us. They're turning our players into playmakers. That's not who we are. We're a team full of players who make plays. Then on top of that, Russell Westbrook is making threes. Really? And he's doing all of his whatever the hell he does. Wears me the hell out. I was talking to somebody today, my guy Gary Vick, and he was talking about, well, people in Oklahoma City love Russell. I said, I know they do. It's ridiculous. The best player we've ever had is not him. It's KD, and you let him go because of him. And I tell people all day long, Russell's not our best player we've ever had. You're crazy. That would be KD. If you think Russell is, you know zero about basketball, and don't come talk to me ever. Don't speak to me about basketball ever. Talk to me about football. Talk to me about baseball. Don't speak to me about basketball if you think Russell Westbrook is the Oklahoma City's best player of all time. You're crazy. That would be KD. The only reason why he won the MVP, the only reason why he won the MVP, because he had a triple-double. He was not the best MVP that year. He was not the best player. But he did have the triple double. Why? Because Sam Presti and the Thunder made sure he did. Just like tonight, SGA went from 35 shots to 14. We went from a W. Okay, we went from a W to an L. Went from a W to an L because the Thunder are about team basketball, and I understand all that, and I'm cool with that. But when you got to have your guy go, he got to be on full tilt, let him play. He took 21 less shots, guys, and we lost by what? 141-27? And he took 21 less shots. You're not going to win Oklahoma City Thunder if you don't let the man do what he does. If he doesn't cook, we're not going to win no matter what you think in your mind, how you think the coach is going to coach players up. We're not going to win without him doing his thing. And if you think something else, we're going to be going home in the first round, if not the second round, just like last year. He has got to understand who he has and what kind of team, instead of trying to, we're young, we're developing. You have a 5-year window to get your chip. You got a 5-year window. You already wasted last year. I remember the year before that, we were screaming, myself, the commander, Nathan, we were screaming, hey, let's go ahead and quit trying to get in the deal, and let's go ahead and quit worrying about all that. Let's go ahead and get in and get this W. Now, I know everybody wanted Wemby. But 2 years ago, we had a chance to get into the playoffs and get used to playing. We didn't do it. Got to play in. Then last year was your first year of playoffs instead of the year before. You could have gotten the playoffs. Then last year would have been your second year. This would have been your third year. You're ready to go. But instead, this is your second year. Rashawn, this coach ain't it. He still hasn't learned Denver comes corner 3, Wolves corner 3, Dallas corner 3. Memo is out. He's going to give up the 3 in the corner. I'm going to say, Rashawn, this is my problem. The T-Wolves game, they showed you what you're going to do to beat Oklahoma City. You go double-team SGA. You put yourself in a zone. You let them kick the ball out. Then you kick the guy and make him shoot threes. That's what you do. Because they don't believe that we can continually hit threes. And what I've said all along, if Dort's knocking down threes and Case's knocking down threes and Caruso's knocking down threes and Chess knocking down threes, you're not going to beat us. Dort's knocking down threes, that's great, but we're not going to beat anybody unless we are scoring. And this is the deal. Probably most of y'all don't remember because you weren't watching the Thunder back in the day when Josh was our guy. When they double-team SGA, when we first started making our run 4 years ago, they double-team SGA, he'd hit Josh. Josh would murder people. Murder them from the top of the key. Murder them. They had to come out of the trap because he was murdering them. Now they're coming back to the trap because they realize you got iHeart in the middle. You don't have a Josh Giddey that can catch the ball when they double team at the high post and make him pay. We don't have that right now. All we're doing is passing it to iHeart. He throws it to the corner, we shoot a 3, or throws it to the side, we shoot a 3. And if you make it, cool. If you don't, guess what team's not going to do? They know that they think you're not going to continually make them. That's what they're doing. They're going to take SJ out of it. And if you think it's not going to happen in the playoffs, you're crazy. Because that's what's going to happen. Now, granted, we're still 11 games ahead. But that doesn't matter. Minnesota gave you the recipe for what you got to do against the Thunder. You got to double team SGA, get the ball out of his hands, and make everybody else beat you by shooting threes. We haven't come up with a strategy to come against that because either we don't have the coaches who know how to do it, or they don't have the experience to know how to do it, or we're just set in the fact that we're just going to pass it out hard, we're going to shoot threes, and that's how we're going to beat you. Rashawn, we have Oklahoma City has no one who can dribble. We have one ball handler. That's it. The other ball handler is hurt. And remember, we're going to be a different team when A.J. Mitchell comes back. Okay? We'll be a different team, and he gets evaluated, I think, next week. He gets evaluated. And if he's back, or if he's going to come back, which I know that it's 12 weeks, April the 4th or whatever, some that first week of April will be 12 weeks, which he's 10 to 12 weeks they were going to evaluate him. So I'm sure that we need him because we got to have somebody else to handle the ball. And when J-Dub went out tonight, we were in trouble. And you look at Cleveland, they've had no significant injuries. You look at Boston, they've lost Porzingis and stuff because that's what they do, kind of like where we're going to be in and out with Chet. It is what it is. But Cleveland really hasn't had any injuries to hurt them. The Thunder we've been without Ihart. We've been without Chet. We've been out Caruso. So we've been out players. They have not. That's why they're rolling and doing their thing. Guzman. Dort pissed me off. Dort was doing his thing. He was knocking down threes. He shoots. He shot an air ball. But my thing is this, guys. You have to understand that. This is why I've said this before. The difference between the Thunder and the Celtics. The Celtics 2 years ago when their coach got out-coached. Okay. He got out-coached by Spoelstra. 100%. They got Porzingis to strengthen the inside. They got rid of Marcus Smart. And then they got lucky and got Drew. Because if they don't get Drew Holiday, they don't win a chip. But they got Drew. And then they addressed the coaching style by adding 2 veteran coaches to what they already had. The Thunder did several things. They addressed the inside by doing Ihart. They addressed Caruso by getting rid of Josh. You replaced him with Caruso. So you look at Ihart, Porzingis. Drew Holiday, Caruso. Then the Thunder did nothing to the coaching staff to help them out at all. Because the Thunder are in, how does Stephen A. put it? Stephen A. says that the Thunder are in perpetual playoff contention mode. They just want to be, contenders every year in the playoffs. That's what he says. Now, I don't believe that. Mark didn't pull Isaiah Joe along fast enough. I agree, Rashawn. That's part of what I was saying is I love Isaiah Joe, but not as much as I used to. What Isaiah Joe has done and what he's meant to the Thunder are not the same. But let's give it to the Nuggets. They took SGA completely out of the game, and they made everybody else beat us. Then you got Dort trying to take the basket. You got Isaiah Joe trying to go to the basket. You got Caruso trying to throw alley-oops. I'm like, man, what the hell? They knew you were going to throw the alley-oop. You had alley-oop. I'm going to throw alley-oop written all over your face. I saw that from back. I saw that from here, watching the TV. Well, I saw that. I'm like, dude, he's ready to throw alley-oop. Caruso did not help us offensively. Defensively, 100%. Offensively, he missed a three, threw the ball away to an alley-oop to Chet, then threw another alley-oop, threw the ball away. I mean, that's 4 possessions. It's 4 possessions. And I've said to you guys many times, and what I'm trying to help you all understand, in the playoffs, you get 5 to 7 less possessions. Let's say 5. Just make it easy. You get 5 possessions. That's a game. You can't give away possessions because of dumb plays. But what bugs me and what worries me is defensively, we're starting to worry about offense than defense. Offense is not going to win you championships. Defense. We have a 12.7, which is the best defensive rating in history. Why? Because we play defense. Now we're giving up offensive rebounds. We're doing this. I mean, Wiggins, I'm like, how many points you going to give up because you're trying to score now? Coach, put him back in defensive mode, put him back on the shelf and go, I only want you to shoot threes, or if you cut to the basket, try to score. Don't be trying to take people off dribble. Against bad teams, he can do that. And I've said this before. He did all this other stuff. I'm saying, let me see him do that against a good team. Let me see him do it against the Nuggets. Let me see him do it against the Lakers. Let me see him do it against Boston. Let me see him do it against Cleveland. Let me see that. Not against the Jazz and against whomever or the Grizzlies. Show me against a really good team, can you do what you're doing? He can't. And I love Wiggins. Y'all know that. I love him. But put everybody back to where we need them to be and quit trying to develop. Let SGA go. If they're going to set a double team, come set the pick. Put it on the high side of him. When SGA's to the left, come set the pick and let him roll off it and let him be in attack mode. Now, the problem with that is, and as I know, if a person who's got double teamed, the problem is when you get like that, you burn so much energy trying to attack the basket. SGA also plays defense. So you burn a bunch of energy trying to attack that. That's why SGA is willing to give up the ball. He just needs help. But what he doesn't get is if he doesn't burn that energy in 2 or 3 possessions in a row to get us buckets, then he can back up a little bit. But when he gets passive, and you can tell when he gets passive, he passes the ball and sits back and waits like, please somebody make a play. Please somebody make a play. It's not going to happen. Burgess, the consensus by the NBA players and a few known voters is that the MVP race is based on Jokic triple-double numbers and SGA having 40 and 50-point games. Okay, Burgess, I'm going to say this. I believe, like Stephen A. Smith said, I believe SGA should have been the MVP last year. But nobody saw the Thunder play, which is why Dagnall won the Coach of the Year. Nobody saw us play. All they saw was that we were the number one in the West. And I'm going to say this. Had SGA played against Boston, against Philly, and against the Pacers in those 4 back-to-back games that we had on ESPN, back-to-back, he would have been the MVP over Jokic last year. But because nobody saw him play, he wasn't. And I believe SGA is going to be the MVP unless we just falter and fall apart, which I don't see. Because last night he made a statement on national TV. Tonight, he shot 21 less times. The Thunder went from kicking their ass to getting their ass beat. He shot 21 less shots tonight. He only took 14 shots because the coaches, whenever he does that, if you'll go back and you look, whenever he shoots a bunch, the next game he will shoot 14. He'll shoot at least 10 times less than he did the game before. Every time. Because they're like, hey, we don't need you to shoot so much. You need to pass the ball. F that. Let him go. Bring the rest of the guys up. Let me see. Hotspot. Hey, what's up, man? The only reason why Denver was able to win is because Jokic was blocking Dort at the perimeter, and it freed up their guy it was Jamal Murray is who he was trying to guard. Okay? Last team they double screamed Dort. Hotspot, I just think that they came out and they hit us in the mouth, and number one. Number two, they were 12 for 17 in the second half. They missed one shot in the 1 3 in the fourth quarter. That's why we lost. They got in a roll in the third quarter, and when they got on that roll, they never looked back. And what I've always tried to explain to you guys, the second quarter, teams get on a roll against us, and once they get on a roll, it's over. Because once again, who was it that pointed out about the threes? Let me see, who was it? I forget who it was talking about the threes, how we give up the threes in the corner. Oh, Rashawn. That's the thing, Rashawn. Okay, that you can't give up that. But once again, Jokic is Jokic. Jokic is a beast. He gonna do what he does. But you've got to be able to understand they know what Dagnall does. It's like tonight. He brings SGA in with 9 minutes to go. They immediately counter with Jokic. If they brought Jokic in like they did last night, he doesn't counter with SGA. Oh, I've got my best player on the floor, J-Dub. I don't need to put him in there. I got my best player on the floor. That's Dagnall's difference between those two and any other coach. If we put SGA in, their best player immediately comes in the game. Their best player goes in the game, he sits SGA for 2 minutes. That's the difference between a coach who understands how to win and who understands how to play a superstar and what a superstar means and one who's a developmental coach. That's the difference, and it's going to get us beat. as I've said before, it's going to get us beat. Now, tonight, he pulls J-Dub out with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter like he normally does. And then we're winning, and he brings J. Will in. Lineup completely changed. They go boom, 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 hit us in the mouth. I'm like, why is J. Will on the floor? I like J. Will, but come on, man. What he did the other day, that's great. A few games, dude, he did a little bit. Okay, yesterday in halftime. Cool. I got you. Now second half, let's go. But yet he's on. No, stop. He did what he did for the minutes that he does it. Now keeping your rotation with your guys. Our coach doesn't get it. He just doesn't. Hotspot, I'm not impressed by Jokic's numbers against the Suns. We've seen this with Westbrook when he was a 20-20-20 for Nipsey Hussle. Okay, Hotspot, what Jokic did was crazy, no doubt. But it wasn't against anybody. He's killing. I mean, who was he playing against? Plumlee? It's like him against J. Will tonight. J. Will can't guard him. Here's the Thunder's issue. Number one, you got to fix your defense because these last few games we're scoring 130-something points, but you're giving up a bunch of points too. Now you're second in the league. Let's look at Denver's numbers. Okay, guys? Let me pull up Denver's numbers for you. Here, let me pull up their numbers for you. Okay? Let me pull up their numbers for you. They were, from 3 tonight, 18 for 52. Well, here, let me do it this way. Where's my deal? Let me pull this up for you guys so y'all can see what I'm saying. They were 18 for 32 from 3, not 52. 18 for 32 from 3. 18 for 32 from 3. They shot 60% from the field. 60. But once again, when you, like Rashawn says, you give up the corner threes, which we did against the Clippers. We did against the Nuggets last time. We lost to them. We did against the Mavericks, and we did against Golden State. You give up corner threes, you're going to get beat. And then with Russell making threes, I'm like, oh, hell, it's over. This fool, he making threes. This is, what the hell? He making threes, you know you're having a bad night. Hotspot, J. Will actually played better than that against Jokic last game, and iHeart was getting destroyed. Well, iHeart got in foul trouble. There's a little different when you get in foul trouble. There's not a lot you can do. But Caruso, the mistakes that he made, he killed us. Case and Dort, Wiggins, Chet, and Joe lineup killed us tonight. Yes, that when he came out with that lineup in the beginning, but once again, no J-Dub. Who you going to put in there? You can't play SGA. SGA had played 29 minutes at that point and started the fourth quarter. And once again, they came and got going, and it was over. The best defensive lineup is Wiggins, Caruso. That is, Hotspot, you have no idea what you're talking about. The best defensive lineup is SGA, Wiggins, Caruso, Chet, and Kaysen. Not J-Dub. You're high. You don't know. Hotspot, you're high. There's no way you're going to put J-Dub in front of SGA as the best defensive player. You're wasted, bro. Your best 5 is SGA, Kaysen, Caruso, Wiggins, and Chet. That's your 5. That's the 5 that makes it run every time. That's your 5. You're not putting J-Dub in front of SGA as far as a defender. No, never. That is not never. And he got hurt, and I've already said he got hurt, and that hurt us. Hotspot, 100%. I've already said that. But I'm not putting J-Dub in front of SGA with that 5 all year long. The best 5, and we've been talking about this, is SGA, Caruso, Kaysen, Wiggins, and iHeart, and now Chet. That's our best 5. Straight up. Now, if you're going to put J-Dub in front of SGA with that group, you ain't winning jack. You ain't winning, bro. You really. Okay, that was a few games ago. It happens every now and then. But I'm telling you, all year long, we've been saying on this show, your best 5 is the 5 I've just named. They put J-Dub with those other 4 guys to hide him. They're hiding him, bro. Pay attention to the game. They're hiding him. They're hiding him. He can't play against good teams. They have to hide him by putting that group with him. Then you put SGA with K. Rich and Jay Will and all that. That's what you put SGA with. But the 5 is SGA, Wiggins, Caruso, Kaysen, and Chet or Ihart. That's your 5. Or if you want to put Dort in there, cool. But that's your 5. That is the group that makes you win, not the other. And the reason why I'm trying to explain to you this is because you are a plus with J-Dub in the game or not in the game. You are a minus with SGA not in the game. So how can you say that group is better when you're a minus with SGA on the bench? He's a minus. But you're not, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. He's hiding J-Dub, bro. Pay attention, and you'll see exactly what I'm trying to explain to you. Watch the intricacies of how he plays and who he's playing good with, and you will see exactly what I'm telling you. He's hiding him, and I said this 5 games ago. I said the exact same thing. He's hiding J-Dub by playing with that group because those 4 guys with SGA is the group that makes us run every single time. So he's hiding J-Dub with that group because he knows he's not the dude, and he's not. But I like him, and I'm glad we have him. Here's the box score for the game for us. Chet 3 for 11. And let's say this also. First game, Chet played back-to-back. His legs, you could just tell, weren't there. You could tell that. 3 for 11, 0 for 5 from 3. 8 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks. His legs weren't there. J-Dub hurt us 100% him not playing. 100% hurt him. Ihart, 8 for 16. Way too many shots for him, but he had to take the shots that he had, 20 points. J-Dub, SGA, 8 for 14. He took 21 shots less than he did last night. 21. And we got beat by 13. He has to score because it relaxes everybody else up. Jay Will only played 10 minutes. It seemed like he played longer than that. Lou Dort, 9 for 16, 8 for 14, 8 huge threes. But there's too many shots for him. I don't want him shooting that much. Sorry. Don't want him shooting that much. Let me see. Caruso, 5 for 8, 2 for 4, missed 2 huge threes that we needed him to make. And those 3 turnovers were costly at when they made them. Because it's not the turnovers, it's when they happen. Chet never had. Be nice hotspot. Chet has legs. He couldn't hit a 3 tonight, 100%. And it was his first back-to-back. So be nice to Chet, okay? Rashawn, OKC's weakness is adjusting to new lineups. They can't do it. It's Jamal Murray. Okay, you're preparing us in case Kerr and the Warriors beat us in the playoffs. I'm trying to prepare us for that, 100%, Rashawn. But I'm gonna say this, guys. Listen. No matter what, it's one game. We're still 11 up. But the issue is, one, Jamal Murray was Jamal Murray tonight. Okay? The question is, can Jamal Murray do that for 4 times against us for a W? Jokic is going to do Jokic. Can Murray do that 4 times along with Porter? Russell making, let me see, what was Russell tonight? Let me see, where is he at? Right here. Russell Westbrook. Where is he? 3 for 5 from 3. 3 for 5. 3 for 5. 6 for 10. Come on now. You're trying to tell me that you guys are going to count on Russell Westbrook going 3 for 5 from 3? 4 times to beat us? No. But that being said, I'm angry, but I'm not really. I'm not pissed like I normally would be because several things. One, Denver is 13-1 in back-to-back games. 13-1. Okay, in back-to-backs. Secondly, they knew what they needed to do. They came out, they were physical against us, they hit us in the mouth, we didn't respond. SGA was passive, trying to let everybody get involved, and they hit us in the mouth again. And they got rolling. Jamal Murray got rolling early. When the biggest thing was when Jokic was on the bench. And Jamal Murray was knocking down threes. And then Porter's knocking out threes. Russell's hitting threes. Brown and let's give him his props against SGA tonight. He played great. And like I said, I'm okay with that because the next time SGA sees him, he gonna bust his ass. I can promise you that. I can promise you because he's gonna hear it. Oh, Brown did this yesterday. Brown did that. Brown was this. I can promise you he's gonna bust his ass next time he sees him. I can promise you. Let me see. Hotspot. Murray is trash against us. He wasn't tonight. Just wait till we get our legs back. We will be impeccable defensive switches. I agree. Dort was on a heater. Why y'all mad at him? Denver shot 68%. This was the Nuggets game, period. Manifest love, I agree. I'm not mad at Dort. But what I'm saying is I don't want Dort shooting 16 times. That's my point. Okay? I only want him shooting 8. But the reason why he's shooting so much is because teams are doing what? They're going to live and die with Lou Dort shooting threes like that. They're going to live and die with him because, remember, he shot an air ball with that happening. No, you can't bet on Dort, 100% hotspot. You can't bet on him because he shot an air ball at a critical moment. He didn't draw iron. You can't count on him to do that. But once again, what I'm going back to is when you're getting double teamed, there's a way to break the double team. They set a screen on the double team one time and SGA came down and knocked down a 3. Then they shot another time, he did it, knocked down a 3, but they did it twice. You have got to come up with a plan, as we talked about after the Minnesota game. They're going to double team you, double team SGA. As soon as they do it, they're going to do a box and one, which means they're going to go 4-on-4. This is what they're going to do. So the question is, you've had time to go, okay, this is what teams are going to do. This is our match for it. Now, once again, for you all who didn't follow the Thunder 4 years ago, when we first started rolling, SGA, they were double teaming SGA, we started rolling. He would hit Josh, and Josh would just make him pay. He was killing him. This is before J-Dub got here, okay? Before Chet got drafted. It was the year before that. When there was not one, most of y'all weren't even going to the games, we were still going. I was going. Mark Long of SRB was going. Randy Wright, the commander from YMB, we were all going. We were terrible, and, the suites were closed, and nobody was going to the games. We were there. And I was watching us get better and better and better and better. That's why 2 years ago, I picked us to win 40 games. Everybody told me I was out of my damn mind. They said we were going to win 23. We won 40. Only person that picked that. Why? Because the way that I watch the game and what I see are totally different than most people. And what I'm trying to explain to you all is the way that I look at the game, I'm trying to show you how I look at it so you can see the way that I see it, so you can kind of go, oh, okay, I see the little tweaks. I see the little things that most people don't see because of the way that I've always played the game and the way that I watch it, because I was a cerebral player. That's why the commander and we are eye to eye on all the time, because he will say stuff, and if we just look at each other and just laugh, or we'll just see something will happen here, he and I will just look at each other and laugh. Why? Because we saw exactly what was happening. We don't need to talk about it because we know what we just saw. And I'm trying to explain to you all what I'm seeing and where the Thunder are at. So when I come back, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to give you a plan on how to attack what we're seeing. I want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, hit my guy Mark Long up. They love to be behind the scenes, and also if you have a water treatment plant in your city or county, they can hook you guys up. Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, they are the people to holler at. I know they're getting ready to get a new truck too. YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area, which we will start tomorrow back now that it's warmed up again. I'm like, oh, man, I'm so happy. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com, or you can go to one of their 5 locations, the main bank at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YMB East, which is off the Parkway, and 66 at 39th Expressway. YMB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YMB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40, right in front of the hospital. Cannot miss it. And the NYB People is located in Bethany, uh, on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then, of course, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. If you haven't had Creed cologne, that stuff smells so good. Man, it smells so good. It is really, really delicious. I can promise you. And as they told me, Matt, remember, pick the best for your best. So if you have a guy, if you're a guy and you have a girl, man, buy her some perfume. They've got some great smelling stuff. If you're a woman and you got a boyfriend, you want them to smell good, hey, they got tons of different cologne and stuff for the guys. Here are the locations that they have. Go into the Penn Square Mall and see my girl Beth and tell her I said that I sent you there. See if she'll hook you up. Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, Town East Mall in Wichita, Oak Park Mall, KC, Missouri, Park Plaza in Little Rock, South Plains in Lubbock, and Westgate in Amarillo. All those places. So here's the Thunder schedule coming up. Okay. We have the Celtics on Wednesday. We have the Pistons on Saturday, which, as I've said, don't sleep on them. Then we have the Bucks on Sunday on a back-to-back. Now, when we've talked about this, okay, we've talked about on, this next 8 games. Okay, I talked about this on the show today. We were 2-0 going into the 9. It's the next 8 games. 6-2 is what I see us. The next, 7 games now. So 5-1 is what I see us. And if you go 4-2 and you end up being 7-3, okay. But we usually are 8-2 and 10. So you have the Celtics, and of course they won us from the beatdown that we gave them. Okay. And then, of course, after that, you have the Pistons. And you got to watch them because that boy, Cade Cunningham's got those boys rolling. You got to watch them. And then, of course, the Bucks are playing really well, which I don't necessarily agree with Dame Lillard saying he's the best shooter of all time. And the reason why people don't give him the credit is because Steph Curry's light skin. I'm like, come on, man, really? You going to throw the black people stuff out there, laundry out there in public? Come on, man, that ain't got nothing to do with it. Steph Curry, you ain't him. And if you were him, the difference between y'all is I think you may be an overall more physical player, but just straight up shooter. If you were a better shooter than him, how come you don't have more threes than he does? That's what I say. That's how I look at it. So anyway, we got the Bucks coming up after that, so we're going to have to really watch that. Sixers, we should handle our business at home a week from Wednesday. The Hornets on Friday, and then we go to the Clippers and the Kings. So after the Bucks, us going 4-0, I don't see how we're not 4-0. And then the next 3 though are the difference. These next 3 are the difference, and that's what we're going to have to do. We've got to get of these next 3. We got to go 2-1. And these next 3, 3-0 would be perfect, but you got to go 2-0. Celtics want us really bad. The Pistons want us. And they're going to be there in Detroit, so that's going to be a tough one. The Bucks and that beast of Giannis that he is, and the Sixers, they're just a shell of what they used to be. But at the same time, they are at home, and any team can beat you in the NBA, especially if you're not guarding the three-point line. So you have to really, really, really worry about that. So let me see. Manifest Isaiah Joe, no business in the game with three-pointers. Well, my thing is this, and we talked about this, Manifest, is that with Isaiah Joe, I used to love me some Isaiah Joe. Now I just like him. I used to love him. Now I just like him. Because I think that he doesn't give us what we used to give him, what he used to give us. He doesn't give us what he used to. And he's a defensive liability. And those are things. So if he's not hitting threes, I don't want him on the court. I just don't. But, Dagnall is a believer, and I get all that. But, dude, we're trying to win. We're trying to win. So, now, to get back to what I was saying. To beat the double team, it's really simple. Hotspot says double screen, me, and I'm flopping. You can't do that because it's a tech. What they do is you've got the guy coming up, and the double team comes. Bring iHeart up. Let SJ come off the screen, or when the guy splits out, he splits the double team. And by what I mean is, if my guy is guarding me right here, I see the other guy coming up. iHeart comes up, I can go around iHeart, or I can fake that, the guy jumps, and then I over the top split, underneath split, or between my legs split. I split the double team, and now I'm on attack mode. But like I said, the issue with that is that burns tons of energy. So SGA has got to figure out, do I want to burn energy? How much energy do I want to burn? Because putting the ball in iHeart's hands is not the answer. Because all they're doing is double teaming him because he can't really have ball handling. He's going to pass to the corner and make a shoot, which is what they want. Giving Dort the shot. Giving Caruso the shot. That's what they're doing. So you have to have somebody, when they go do that double team, if you're not going to set the screen and let SGA go off of it or split it where he can attack, because SGA is going to have to be in attack mode. At least if they're going to do it every other time, he's got to attack it now. Is that going to burn a bunch of energy? 100%. But he's got to be in attack mode, because if he's not, we're not going to win. We can't depend on the others if we're going to win. It's not going to happen. We don't have the players for that. We have a nice deep bench, but it's based defensively. And now teams are scoring a bunch of points on us. We went from the number one in points allowed to we're now number 2. Because we're scoring so many points that we're giving up so many points. And the question is, offense travels or defense travels? Offense does not travel. Defense travels. And we're winning the games, and winning games the way we're winning them is because defense. Now, because you've allowed Wiggins to become more of an offensive threat, you're trying to turn this into an offensive deal. Now, that's going to hurt you, because you look at it as this way. We have to have a third scorer or fourth scorer. But I want Wiggins to shoot threes. I don't want him trying to take people off the dribble tonight like he was trying to do. Dude, this is the Nuggets. There's more pressure. This is not the Grizzlies. This is not the Jazz. This is not those. This is something completely different. It's not Portland Trailblazers. The heat, the magnitude, the intensity all go up. So the question is, what do I want him to do? Dude, just catch the ball, shoot the three, and play defense. That's all I want you doing. Catch the ball. Now, if you get to attack the basket here and there when you see an opportunity, fine. But for the most part, just catch and shoot. Get back in the rhythm. Don't be trying to go all off and do a bunch of stuff. But because he's been allowed to do that, now he thinks he's a scorer. So now he doesn't play defense. I can't impress on y'all enough to understand how hard it is to play defense and score. It's not easy to do that. It's not easy to play defense and score. It's very difficult. Only a few players have been able to do that in history, to be a great defender and then be a scorer. Wiggins is an excellent defender and an okay scorer, but he's a very good three-point shooter. Now, talking about threes, okay? Here are the Thunder's shooting percentages, okay? Here are the Thunder's shooting percentages by player from three, which is why teams are saying, okay, we're going to take the ball out of SJ's hands. When he passes to iHeart at the top, we're going to double team him and make it kick it. Here's the reason why they're doing that, okay? On your screen right now, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. J-Dub, 36%. Jet, 36%. Wiggins, 39%. So why do I want Wiggins shooting? 39%. Dort, 39%. Joe, 39%. Then Kaysen, 33%. Caruso, 34%. K-Rich and J-Will. J-Will, 35%. His has gone up because of what he did the other night. But this is what they're doing. They're saying these guys are not going to be able to make shots because they're playing defense and the first thing to go is your legs. So that's why they're coming at us. That's why they're coming at us, guys. Because of that one simple thing. So in order to beat them, you have to either SGA come up, iHeart set the screen, him come off of it, him split the double team, him either pull up, and then our guys attack the basket. Because how we were winning before, Josh would either score going to the basket all the way or hit a cutter. We weren't shooting a bunch of threes, which is what we're doing now. Third quarter, three. The beginning of the third quarter, we're up by 6. And you start the third quarter with SGA, Kaysen, J-Will, Dort, and Chet. What you start the third quarter with. And then we're 3 after 3 after 3. And then all of a sudden, with 5 minutes and 21 seconds to go, we're up 84-82. Then we're up 96-90. Okay? You had iHeart in there. You take iHeart out, put J-Dub back in, and then we're down 99-101. Because you took iHeart out to put J-Will in. Lineups. Quit managing minutes and play lineups. That's the difference between what the Thunder can do and can't do. But like I said, in order to win, the double team is going to come. Quit worrying about shooting so many threes and give me the ball to somebody. If it's not going to be I, if you're not going to set the screen, give me somebody else that's playing at the top of the key that he can hit, that he can tack the basket. The question is, who is that? It ain't J-Dub. It's not Caruso. Hart's the only guy you got other than who? Wiggins, that ain't him. So do you have a guy, because you got rid of Giddey, who do you have that you can hit at the top of the key to make the other teams pay? That's the question you have to answer as the Thunder coaching staff. Set a screen for SJ and let him attack a couple, 2 or 3 times, then get into the flow. Quit shooting 5 and 6 threes 3 or 4 times, 5 times in a row. Every time you come down, shoot a three, attack the basket. What did we shoot? 4 free throws the second half? Why? Because we're shooting threes. We went from the number 1 driving team in the league to a 3-point shooting team all of a sudden. I want Wiggins shooting. I want Dort shooting a little bit. But I don't want him shooting 14 times. I don't want him shooting 16 times. But the real answer here, guys, is why did SGA go from 35 times to 14? We went from a 15-point win to a 13-point loss because he was passive. We're not going to win, Thunder management, Thunder coaching staff, if you don't let the man go. We're not going to win. I don't give a shit how good of a coach you think you are. I don't give a shit how good of a guy you think you can, developmental talent. We're not going to win if you don't let the man just go and let everybody else play off him. We have guys who make plays. We do not have playmakers. J-Dub is not a playmaker. Chet's not a playmaker. Case is not a playmaker. Caruso's not a playmaker. Dort's not a playmaker. Wiggins is not a playmaker. Hart is not a playmaker. Jay Will, not a playmaker. K. Rich, not a playmaker. Kaysen, not a playmaker. Dort, not a playmaker. You got one. Let him make plays, let everybody else play off him, and we'll win. If you don't do that, the Thunder are not going to win. I don't know how to explain it to you any simpler than that. You're not going to win unless you let the man cook. You're not. 35 shots, we win. 14 shots, we lose. Rashawn, this fix was Cam Johnson. 100% that's what it was, Rashawn. We talked about that. Cam was going to get us the guy, was going to be the guy we need to win. You don't have that guy. But once again, I'm not giving up topic for Cam Johnson. Like I wasn't giving up Kasich for Lauren marketing last year. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna give you more picks, which I got 1,000 of them. But I'm not giving up topic because of the simple fact of why. Because next year, you're going to have him to go with J-Dub when SGA is on the bench. That's why. Exactly. All of a sudden, everyone is Curry. No one wants to drive to the rim, especially J-Dub, who seems to go 50-50. Agreed. But once again, Manifest, we don't have players who can make – we have players who make plays, not playmakers. There's a difference. We have guys who make plays. We have one playmaker, and you cut him short, made him shoot 21 less times tonight, and we got beat. And we're going to continue to get beat unless you let him do what he does and quit. Like I told him, I said, the SGA cooler is Mark Dagnall. Nobody else can stop SGA but the coach. The Thunder coaching staff, the Thunder management. That's who can stop SGA. No other team can stop him. That's a fact. All right, guys, tomorrow night, we're off. We'll be back Wednesday again for the Celtics game. What time is that game? Again, that game is at 6:30, right? I'm pretty sure it's at 6:30. It'll be on ESPN. I believe it's going to be at 6:30. So we'll be there. We'll be watching that game. So anyway, I want to thank you guys once again for your support, coming online, talking to me, giving your opinion. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic night. Enjoy yourself. And by the way, enjoy this fantastic weather. I'm going to go play golf in the morning. Yes, sir. I'm going to go give me 18 in. No doubt.